Praises to the Most High. I am back. Everybody wants to get this. You got to have a desire for the truth, a want for the truth. And if you don't have a desire for the truth, you ain't going to get it. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny, the sister that I just had on, she was like, oh, I got to go back and study. I got to go study, but I can't just accept what you say. I can't take your belief. I got to go do my due diligence. Did you do that before you believed in Christ? No, you've accepted it. You've accepted it without doing no research and reading or studying. Pastor said it, you believed it. The billboard said it, and you believed it. So I find it amazing when we share these people the truth, exactly what the word says, go through the motions with them. And then they say, I can't believe what you're telling me. There's no way I can accept that right now. I have to do my own reading first. And it's like, well, why you didn't do that before you got here? Because we would be having a totally different conversation. Right? We would have a different conversation. You'd be on my team. You would understand what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? So they use these, it's like, come on, man. Now it's okay for you to use that on me, but you didn't use that with your pastor. Why? Because the cross is standing there. The billboard is standing there. The picture of Christ is right there. So you got all this external influence. You're like, damn, the cross is there and the cross is there. Maybe if I say something wrong, I'm going to be condemned. And that's the thing. It's a popularity thing. It's like, if I go against the social norm, I'm going to be, come on, fam, prideful in Christ. That's what it is, fam. She was prideful in Christ. He's holding on to this pride in his character. Yeah, he's right in here. I know he is. Well, it says everybody's going to die for their own sin. Well, let me Google something to see what that means. Everyone's going to die for their sin? Well, I don't think it means that. I think it's somehow associated with Psalms. And I'm like, Psalms? How? You see what I'm saying? So that's the pride in Christ. But she's trying to make it seem like, oh, you're not nurturing enough. You have to be sweeter to me. You have to pet my ego. You have to pet my pride. You have to bow down to my pride and make me feel sweet and special because I'm a follower of Christ. So you treat me with respect and love. And it's like, come on, man. Come on, man. You don't care about what the word says. We went through the word. I showed you according what it says. You didn't care. You didn't bat an eye. I had to say, oh, okay, do you see that? And that's why I'm like asking these questions. Do you see Christ there? So I'm not putting it in your mind. I want you to be an honest person. That's why I was saying she wasn't being honest because she's fighting it. Does it say that? No. Why is it taking you so long to say no? It doesn't say Christ there. You're right. People who are honest like that, they be like, yeah, you know what? You're right. It doesn't say that. Wow. So you see the difference between a person who's honest and they say, you know what? It doesn't say that. What the hell? Oh my gosh. He said, hate your father and your mother. Wait a minute. Hold on. Their wisdom is resting upon them and they're being honest. People who are not honest, they're not going to want to answer the question. Right? They're going to say, well, I don't know. Maybe I need to study more. I see what it says, but I don't know if I want to accept that. And that's really what it is. They don't want to accept what the Almighty has said. That's just the bottom line. You don't have to do some wild studying to come back to the same verses. It's not like the wild study is going to make the change. Like the Almighty is saying everyone's going to die for their own sin. You don't have to do a whole boatload of studying to come back to the same verse that says everybody's going to die for their own sin. As if Whatever he's saying outside of that is going to change. It's not going to change. You just have to comprehend what he's saying right there. And it's like, okay, I got it. I get it. So that's really just what it is. It's the pride in Christ. It's the fear, the public humiliation that you might receive when you come to the conclusion that he ain't ish. My family might hate me if I turn away from this idol that is beloved by the world. You see what I'm saying? People are in fear of ridicule and being hated because of what everybody else may say or may think. I don't give a damn. I'm not following this guy. He's a devil, is evil. That's just the bottom line. Hate me, call me what you want, say I'm the devil and all that. I don't care personally. Fine, you can have your opinions and feelings and thoughts. That's what the Most High gave you. Is it true? That's a whole nother story. Come on, sis. The truth is not for the weak. You gonna understand it and get it. It's supposed to uplift you and empower you. Knowledge, wisdom shall be the stability of your times. Thank the Most High for this truth. That I'm not deceived anymore. Now I can listen to what he says. Period. Not what my pastor says. Not what Christ says. Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Crazy. All right, let's get this next one up, man. You need an intermission? I got you, family. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Are you a follower of Christ?
Yeah, I follow Christ.
How long?
But I'm not a religious person. If that makes sense.
It doesn't make sense, but I'll accept it, brother. So you follow Christ.
Could I give you some context?
Go ahead,
because
sure.
I feel like religion was placed to cause division, and Christ wasn't a person that came and said that we need to be of a Christian religion. He came to show us that if everybody in this world love thy neighbor like they love themselves, then the world would just be a better place. See, when you look at the story of it and you get to saying, oh, did this happen, or contradicting things of that nature, it take you away from the teaching of, if you love your neighbor, if everyone in this world loved their neighbor like how they love themselves, the world would just be a better place. Without religion, without all the other things that humans add to it or man add to it, I don't feel like the teachings that he taught was evil or had no ill intent, because
okay, brother. Now you're giving us a long spiel.
Okay.
How long have you been following Christ, brother?
Well, I've been trying to follow him for a long time, but then I just understood that that's the path that I would like to be, because I ain't perfect. I ain't saying that I'm perfect. I do a lot of wrong, but at the same time, I just aim to follow Christ. That's my aim. That's my goal.
Okay. Have you studied what they call the Old Testament, brother?
I've had my run-ins with it. I know some things about it. I ain't a scholar on it, but I know things about it.
Okay. And that's the problem that we're trying to share with our people, right? Okay. The thing we're trying to share is that you have to study the foundation, because what we've been taught through Christianity and this Christ character is a lie.
Okay, what is the lie? And what did the Old Testament say that will make it a lie?
Well, there are many things, right? But I can point out a few.
Okay.
One of the big things is you believe Christ died for your sin, or for our sin, right?
I believe that he died for... I believe that he put his life on the line because he believed what he was saying, Like the way of Christ is I don't believe in all the fairy tale things that the Bible say, but I believe that Christ died for people, that he died standing up for, like Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King died for standing up for something that he believed in. He didn't want to die. They assassinated him for trying to spread love and not hate. So I feel like Jesus did, he did it in a times 10, like Martin Luther King on steroids, if I would say. Just try to find a comparison though. You get what I'm saying? Like
So
I don't think that he probably was saying that, oh, I'm about to die for y'all sins and things of that nature, but he was in a human form, so it's like he just gonna die for what he's standing up for. Like, bro, like
the
if you
problem,
love your neighbor, okay, you can go ahead on and interrupt you.
yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you, brother, but the problem is you haven't studied, fam. You haven't even
Okay, all
studied the
right.
New Testament book. He did say that he lays down his life, right? So when you say he didn't want to die or anything like that, he says, I lay down my life for you.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah, he
he
wanted
did
this.
not want to die. That's why he said he went to God before this happened. He already knew that he was about to have to do this. He went to God 3 different times and said, if you could take this cup away from me, this cup of suffering away from me, please do it. But still let your will be done. Like he didn't, as a human, he didn't want to have to go through that, but he still wanted. He knew that God's will was more important than his, so he did what he had to go through it.
So here's
So
the
he,
thing, brother.
okay,
That wasn't God's will, fam.
that
It
wasn't
wasn't
God's
it,
will.
no.
Why
Right?
wouldn't
God's will, God's will is his law. I'm not sure if you know that, right?
okay?
The
Why
most
why
high
wouldn't
is,
that be? Why wouldn't that be God's will? So basically you saying that was free will, that he wanted to do that.
no, what I'm saying is that's a lie, right? That's a created, the New Testament is a Roman story. It's a
Okay,
created
okay.
story, and it's a lie against the foundation, the Most High's will, right? Because in his will, he tells you, Deuteronomy 24:16, that every man will die for his own sin. And also in the new covenant, Jeremiah 31 verse 30, which I was sharing with this sister I just spoke with, that everyone would die for their own iniquity. Also in the
Yes.
Proverbs chapter 5:22, you're going to die for your own iniquity again.
Okay. So
So
what?
at
So
no point, oh, let me just
okay.
finish real quick, right?
Okay.
At
My bad.
no,
My bad.
yeah, at no point did he tell anybody that this supposed man that he never mentions is going to die for the sin of the world. So that
No, no,
story
no,
that we're
no.
getting
That
in,
means that you need to study too, because I don't know the exact chapters, but I've known. But man, I sat and read, and I know I ran into, it was things that was in the Old Testament referring to, like when Abraham was told to take his son up there to sacrifice his son to Abraham, and when he went up there to show God that he would do it, it was supposed to be a lamb or something like that. And I get what you're saying, that it made up Roman stories and things like that, because that's what have me saying that I'm not religious, because I believe that religion was put in place by humans to cause division, and that wasn't what Christ was teaching. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying,
so
and I can go ahead and end it, and it's going to be short and smooth. What I'm saying is that even if the teachings are wrong or it was made up, Christ didn't come teach nothing evil. If everyone was to walk and do as Christ did, then the world would be a better place, regardless if the story is real or not. You get what I'm saying?
so the problem is, brother, you're not aware of the laws, right? You're not aware of the commandments, correct?
Yeah, I'm aware of a few of them. Not, I can't say I know all 10 by heart.